What if the universe has an edge? A place where space itself grows thin, where time hesitates, light falters, and the great cosmic ocean meets something that is not. Imagine drifting outward through the stars. The constellations begin to blur, galaxies thin like distant lanterns scattered across an endless dark sea. The light from the Milky Way fades until even the brightest stars become whispers against the void. You move past clusters of galaxies, vast islands of creation drifting apart, and keep going. Past quasars, past the last faint threads of cosmic filaments. And then, silence. Not the silence of emptiness, but of completion. A frontier so profound that even imagination bends around it. For centuries, humanity has looked to the night sky and wondered, where does it end? Is there a wall, a horizon, a boundary, some invisible veil marking the final breath of existence? Or does it go on forever, a boundless ocean with no shore? To some ancient thinkers, the heavens were a dome, a celestial shell enclosing the stars. To others, it was infinite, a divine expanse without border or center. Yet modern science tells us something even more mysterious. Space is not simply a container. It is alive, stretching, expanding, carrying galaxies farther apart as if the fabric of reality itself were breathing. But if the universe began, if it was once a point smaller than imagination, does that not mean it must also have an end? The question becomes more than scientific, it becomes philosophical, almost spiritual. Because to find the edge of the universe is to find the edge of meaning. Picture the beginning of everything 8 billion years ago. A single spark, not in space but of space. The Big Bang was not an explosion into emptiness. It was the birth of emptiness itself. Time, light, and matter unfolded together, expanding like ripples across a cosmic sea. And from that first breath came galaxies, stars, planets, and eventually, us, creatures of dust daring to ask what lies beyond the dust. But perhaps there is no beyond. Perhaps the universe curves back upon itself, like the surface of a sphere so vast we cannot sense its roundness. Travel far enough, and you may find yourself returning from the opposite side, never crossing a boundary because none exists. And yet, there's something deeply human about wanting one, about imagining a final frontier, a place where we could stand and gaze out into pure nothingness. The edge becomes a mirror, reflecting our own desire to comprehend infinity, to hold the unholdable. Every discovery we make, every telescope we launch, every particle we study, pushes that imagined edge further away. It's as if the universe teases us, offering a horizon that recedes with every step we take toward it. Still, we can't help but chase it. Because somewhere, in the human heart, there is a pull not unlike gravity itself. A longing to reach the boundary, to see what lies beyond the last grain of starlight. Perhaps the edge is not a wall but a transformation. Perhaps beyond it lies not darkness, but another form of existence altogether. A new geometry of being, where the rules of time, matter, and perception dissolve. Or maybe, just maybe, the edge is an illusion, and the true boundary lies not at the limits of the cosmos, but within us. For if the universe is infinite, then so is our capacity to wonder. And so we begin our journey toward the horizon of creation itself. But as we set sail across the great dark ocean of space, one question whispers through the stars. If the universe has an edge, who or what stands on the other side? Imagine a night so clear that every star seems alive, each one a whisper from the beginning of time. Yet what we see when we gaze upward is not a still portrait of eternity, but a universe in motion, endlessly stretching, endlessly changing. The cosmos itself is expanding. But how did we discover this truth, this grand cosmic rhythm that reshapes our understanding of everything? At the dawn of the 20th century, astronomers believed the universe was static and eternal, a vast but unchanging sea of stars. The galaxies, they thought, were fixed in the heavens like pearls on invisible strings. It was comforting, an image of order and permanence. Then, something unexpected happened. A young astronomer named Edwin Hubble peered through the Great Telescope at Mount Wilson in California and saw that the galaxies were not still at all. They were moving away from us, every one of them, and the farther they were, the faster they fled. This was no random drift. It was a pattern, a revelation. The universe was not fixed. It was expanding, as if space itself were stretching like a vast cosmic fabric. What Hubble had uncovered was more than an astronomical curiosity. It was a key to the origin of everything. If the galaxies are moving apart today, then long ago they must have been closer together. Closer, until all matter, energy, and space converged in a single, unimaginable moment. The birth of the cosmos. The Big Bang. But the name can be misleading. There was no bang in space, no explosion into emptiness. The Big Bang was the sudden awakening of space and time itself, expanding from a state beyond all comprehension. It was not a detonation, but a blossoming. To visualize it, imagine dots on the surface of a balloon. As the balloon inflates, each dot moves away from all the others. Yet no dot is the center. The balloon expands everywhere at once. That is our universe, an infinite balloon of space growing from within itself. And here's the breathtaking part. This expansion is still happening. Every second, galaxies drift farther apart, their light stretched into longer wavelengths. That is why distant galaxies appear red, starlight elongated by the swelling of space. Astronomers call this phenomenon redshift, the signature of a universe in flight. It means that space is not merely an empty stage upon which the drama of matter unfolds. It is an actor in its own right, shaping the performance. Space moves, space grows, yet there is something deeply poetic about this motion. It means that every moment carries within it the echo of the first moment. The expansion is not just physical, it's temporal. Time itself is the unfolding of that original act of creation. If you could rewind the cosmic clock, compressing billions of years into a heartbeat, you would watch galaxies draw together, stars collapse into a single radiant mist, atoms fuse into pure energy until everything, even time, folds into a single point. Beyond that, the laws of physics fall silent. But the universe did not stay silent. It sang. Its first song was light, the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow still whispering across all of space. Every direction we look, we can hear its hum, the memory of the universe's birth woven into the fabric of the sky. And yet, if the universe is expanding, the question arises, into what? If there is an edge, what lies beyond the growing frontier of space? Scientists say the universe expands into itself, that there is no outside, only more universe. But the human mind, shaped by boundaries and beginnings, struggles with that idea. We long for an edge, for a shore where we might stand and look out into the great beyond. Perhaps what lies beyond the expansion is not a place, but a state, a realm where our familiar dimensions no longer apply. Or perhaps the beyond is simply another illusion, born of our need to measure infinity. Still, the expansion continues, indifferent yet beautiful, a reminder that we live in a universe that is not content to stay still. Every star, every galaxy, every atom in your body is part of this ongoing breath of creation. We are all riding the wave that began when time began, carried ever outward by the same invisible tide. So the next time you look up and see the stars drifting like ancient embers, remember, the universe is not waiting. It is becoming. And as it expands without end, one question continues to grow with it. If space is stretching, where is it leading us, and what lies at the farthest edge of its reach? When we look up at the night sky, we are not seeing space as it is, we are seeing it as it was. Every point of light above us is a message from the past, a flicker that has traveled across unthinkable distances just to reach our eyes. The stars are not only suns, they are memories. But here lies a cosmic paradox. Though the universe may be infinite, we can only see a tiny portion of it. Astronomers call this visible portion the observable universe, a kind of luminous bubble surrounding us in every direction. Beyond it, light has not yet had time to arrive. Imagine this sphere as a cosmic horizon, a shell roughly 93 billion light-years across, glowing faintly with all the galaxies, quasars, and nebulae that our instruments can detect. Within this immense sphere are about 2 trillion galaxies, each containing billions of stars. Yet, outside this limit, the universe continues vast and unseen. Why are we confined to this horizon? The answer lies in the nature of light itself. Light travels at a fixed speed, about 300,000 kilometers per second, but the universe has been expanding since the dawn of time. Some galaxies have moved away so quickly that their light will never reach us, no matter how long we wait. Their messages are lost to time, their brilliance swallowed by distance. It means that what we see is only a fragment of the whole, a shimmering surface on an unfathomable ocean. Beyond that surface lies the unobservable universe, hidden not by darkness, but by time itself. To comprehend this, imagine standing on a vast beach at night. The tide of time laps at your feet. The faint glow of galaxies is like the reflection of stars on the water's surface. You can see a little way out, but beyond that, the ocean vanishes into the mist. You know it continues, but you can never touch it. Our cosmic horizon is that mist. It defines the limits of what is knowable, not of what exists. Beyond it may lie more galaxies, more universes, or perhaps entirely new laws of nature. And yet, even within our observable realm, the universe reveals a complexity that defies comprehension. Every speck of darkness between the stars hides invisible forms of matter and energy, dark matter and dark energy, together composing more than 95% of all that exists. We see their effects, their gravitational fingerprints, but never their forms. It's as though the universe is made mostly of shadows that bend light but never reflect it. In this way, the observable universe becomes a metaphor for human perception itself. We think we see reality, but we perceive only a sliver of it, bounded by our senses and instruments. What lies beyond those limits may be greater, stranger, and more beautiful than anything we can imagine. And within this glowing bubble of visibility lies another mystery. The further we look, the younger the universe appears. The galaxies at the edge of observation are not ancient, but newborn cosmic infants whose light began its journey billions of years ago. To gaze far enough into the night is to look backward through time, to watch creation unfolding in reverse. It's humbling to realize that the universe we know is not static but layered, each depth revealing an earlier chapter of existence. The stars above us are not merely shining. They are telling a story, one photon at a time. But every story has a limit, and ours ends where light can no longer reach. That invisible threshold marks the edge of sight itself, the ultimate horizon of human understanding. Yet we cannot help but wonder, beyond that silent boundary, does the universe continue forever, repeating its patterns endlessly? Or does it fold into itself, looping back like a cosmic Mobius strip? Perhaps there are other worlds beyond our light, entire galaxies that will never know we exist, and whose stars we will never see. To them, we are the unseen universe. In the grand mirror of existence, we are both observers and the observed, both the known and the hidden. And so, as we drift within our luminous bubble, one question continues to echo through the darkness. If we can only see a fraction of reality, how vast and how mysterious is the part we cannot? Every time we lift our eyes to the night sky, we are not looking outward, we are looking backward. Each star is a messenger, carrying ancient light across oceans of time. When that light reaches us, it paints not the present, but a portrait of the past. The nearest star beyond the Sun, Proxima Centauri, lies just over 4 light-years away. That means its glow began its journey to Earth 4 years ago. When you see it shimmer in the sky tonight, you're seeing it as it was 4 years in the past. The light from Sirius left when you were still writing your earliest memories. The light from the Andromeda Galaxy began its voyage 2.5 million years ago, before modern humans even existed. Every star is a window, and each glimmer opens to a different century, a different age of the universe. Looking deeper into space means looking deeper into time, until eventually, the galaxies you see are so far away that their light began its journey near the dawn of creation itself. Through our most powerful telescopes, we witness galaxies forming, merging, igniting cosmic fireworks frozen in time. We are seeing the universe not as it is, but as it was becoming. This truth reshapes our understanding of time itself. The night sky is not a static canopy, it's a living archive. Every photon that strikes your eye is a relic, a traveler that has crossed unimaginable distances to tell you what once was. The universe, it turns out, is a museum made of light. In 1995, astronomers using the Hubble Space Telescope pointed their lens toward a small, empty patch of sky, an area no larger than a grain of sand held at arm's length. For 10 days, they gathered the faintest whispers of light. When the image was finally revealed, it contained over 3,000 galaxies, each one an island of billions of stars, each light a messenger from billions of years ago. That single image became a revelation. The deeper we look, the more ancient the universe becomes. We are surrounded not by emptiness, but by a cosmic memory, light that has traveled for eons to reach this precise moment. Even now, the light from the first stars, born just 200 million years after the Big Bang, is still on its way. Some of it may never arrive, lost to the expansion of space. But much of it continues to stream toward us, whispering stories from an age when the universe was young, full of energy, and pregnant with the potential for galaxies, planets, and life. Light and time are inseparable. The two weave together like threads in a cosmic tapestry, each photon carrying not just illumination, but history. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. An idea that Einstein showed was not just mathematics but reality. It means that every observer lives in their own slice of time, and the universe looks different from every vantage point. Imagine, then, a traveler drifting at the edge of the observable universe. The light reaching them from Earth would be billions of years old. They would not see cities, oceans, or forests. They would see a newborn planet, still cooling, its surface wrapped in storms of creation. And if they looked further still, beyond even the first galaxies, they would see not stars, but the afterglow of the Big Bang itself. A soft, radiant mist of microwave light, the first whisper of existence. To look far into the universe is to look into the mirror of our own origin. The photons that fall upon our telescopes tonight began their journey long before life existed here to receive them. They have crossed a cosmos expanding beneath their feet, slowed by gravity, stretched by time, and yet never extinguished. Each one that reaches us is a miracle of persistence. So when you gaze up at the night sky, you are not merely witnessing stars. You are witnessing history, an unfolding epic of creation written in light. You are standing on the shore of time, watching the ripples of eternity lap against the present moment. But the more we learn, the deeper the mystery grows. For if light allows us to see into the past, it also hides from us the future. There is a horizon beyond which we cannot see, not because it is dark, but because it has not yet happened. And so we ask, if every beam of light carries the story of what was, what then carries the story of what will be? Imagine standing on an endless plain beneath a perfect, dark sky. In every direction, the stars stretch outward without end. Yet no matter how far you look, there is a limit, a faint, invisible border drawn not by matter, but by time itself. This is the cosmic horizon, the ultimate boundary of sight. Beyond it, light has not yet arrived. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old. That number, though vast, is not infinite, and light, no matter how swift, can only travel so far in that time. Because of this, we live inside a sphere of visibility, a glowing shell of all the light that has reached us since the beginning. Everything within it is our observable universe. Everything beyond it remains unseen, not because it does not exist, but because its light has not had time to find us. In a way, the cosmic horizon is a time barrier, a moving edge between the known and the unknown. Each second, as new light arrives from distant corners of space, our horizon expands a little farther. The universe reveals itself gradually, photon by photon, like dawn spreading across an eternal sea. But there's a paradox hidden within this beauty. The fabric of space itself is stretching faster than light can cross it. In the distant reaches of the cosmos, galaxies are being carried away by the expansion so quickly that their light can never reach us. To them, we are already invisible. Their horizon excludes us as surely as ours excludes them. It's a humbling thought, each galaxy surrounded by its own bubble of perception, each civilization gazing into its own finite sky. Every observer sees a different universe, centered on themselves, yet all are part of the same infinite whole. Astronomers describe this horizon not as a wall, but as a moving frontier. It's like the edge of an inflating balloon. There's no outside, only more surface being revealed as it grows. The expansion doesn't push into emptiness. It creates new space as it goes. Beyond our cosmic horizon may lie countless other galaxies, stars, and wonders we will never know, expanding forever beyond the reach of light. Still, we can sense their presence through subtle clues. The faint patterns of the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang, ripple across the sky like fingerprints of the universe's birth. These ancient photons come from the very edge of what we can see, an echo from when the cosmos was just 380,000 years old. They are the oldest light in existence, the last visible remnant of the universe's first breath. When we observe this faint glow, we are looking as far as sight can possibly reach. Beyond it, the universe was opaque, a hot, dense ocean of plasma through which light could not yet move freely. To peer past that horizon would be to see the moment when time itself first became transparent. And yet, beyond that veil lies something that forever eludes our eyes. What exists beyond the cosmic horizon is not darkness, but unseen light, light still on its journey toward us, carrying information from regions of space that remain hidden for now, and perhaps for eternity. It's strange to think that the universe itself has regions forever beyond our knowing. There are galaxies that will never meet, worlds that will never be discovered, suns whose warmth will never touch our telescopes. And yet, these unseen realms are part of the same grand design, the same expanding fabric of existence. The cosmic horizon reminds us that our knowledge, however vast, is only a glimpse. We live inside a bubble of revelation, surrounded by the infinite unknown. It is not a cage, but an invitation to wonder, to imagine, to accept that some mysteries are meant not to be solved, but to be felt. Perhaps that is the true meaning of the horizon. It is the universe's way of whispering, there is more. Every photon that reaches us, every shimmer of distant light, every new image captured by our telescopes is a note in that cosmic symphony. A reminder that discovery is endless, and that mystery is the heart of all things. So we look out, always further, knowing that no matter how far we see, there will always be another horizon waiting, just beyond the reach of light. And as we stand beneath the stars, caught between the known and the unknowable, we must ask, if the universe's horizon is not the end of space, but only the beginning of sight, what new horizons await those who learn to see beyond light itself? Beyond the cosmic horizon lies a question so vast that it bends the imagination itself. What happens when the universe runs out of universe? We know what we can see, the galaxies, the clusters, the threads of light that bind the cosmic web together. But beyond that, beyond the veil where light has yet to reach us, science has no single answer, only glimpses of possibilities, each one as wondrous as it is strange. Let us drift, then, beyond the edge of sight and explore what may lie outside the cosmic map. One idea suggests that the universe is infinite, that there is no edge, no border, only more space extending forever. In such a universe, every direction is the same, and the cosmos has neither center nor boundary. The galaxies we see are just one patch in an endless quilt of creation. If you could travel endlessly in one direction, you would never reach an end. You would only see more galaxies, more stars, more beauty stretching without limit. But infinity carries an odd implication. In an infinite universe, anything that can exist must exist, somewhere. There may be other versions of you out there, living lives slightly different, born under different stars, making different choices. If space truly extends forever, every possible arrangement of atoms eventually repeats. Somewhere, another Earth orbits another sun, and someone there looks up and wonders the same things you do now. Yet not all cosmologists are convinced of infinity. Some believe that space is not endless, but curved, like the surface of a sphere, finite yet unbounded. Imagine an ant walking across a balloon. The ant never meets a wall, yet if it keeps walking, it eventually returns to where it began. The same might be true of our universe. Travel far enough and you might find yourself looping back from the other side, seeing the Milky Way again from behind. This idea that the universe curves within higher dimensions suggests something extraordinary. What we perceive as space could be the surface of a grander reality, one that wraps around itself in dimensions beyond our senses. We are like fish swimming in a cosmic ocean, unaware of the water's full depth. And then there is a more daring possibility still, the multiverse. The theory that our universe is but one bubble in an endless sea of other universes, each with its own laws of physics, its own dimensions, perhaps even its own forms of time. These universes may never touch, separated by regions of eternal inflation. Vast stretches of space expanding faster than light, forever isolating each cosmic bubble from the next. If true, it would mean that creation did not happen once, but countless times. The Big Bang was not the beginning of the universe. It was the beginning of ours. Somewhere, in the infinite foam of existence, new universes are still being born, each one lighting up with its own stars, its own matter, its own possibilities. This view is not only scientific, it is profoundly philosophical. It transforms our place in the cosmos from the center of all things to one ripple among infinite ripples, one note in a grand eternal harmony. Yet it also deepens the mystery, for if there are countless universes, who or what set them in motion? Even within our own cosmos, space may hide unseen dimensions curled so tightly that we can never perceive them. String theory suggests that the universe could have up to 10 or even 11 dimensions, most invisible to us, compacted into scales smaller than atoms. In these hidden layers of reality, gravity may flow freely, explaining its mysterious weakness compared to other forces. Perhaps, beyond the veil of our senses, entire worlds exist folded within the fabric of the cosmos, like melodies within a song we cannot yet hear. In all these theories, whether infinite, curved, or multiversal, the universe refuses to be simple. It stretches both outward and inward, across dimensions of space, time, and thought. Each explanation opens another door, and behind each door lies another mystery. Maybe the edge we seek is not a physical border but a threshold of understanding, a point where our instruments falter and our imagination must take over. Perhaps the beyond is not a place but a state of perception, a way of seeing the universe not as something out there but as something within and around us at once. In the end, all these theories share one truth. The universe is not static, not limited, not closed. It is alive with possibilities, each one stretching our sense of what reality can be. And so, as we stand at the edge of all we know, peering into the unknown, a single question hovers in the silence between stars. If our universe is just one of many, how far does creation truly go? And what lies between the worlds? The universe is moving, expanding, flowing, stretching like an endless tide. Every galaxy drifts away from every other, carried by the silent current of spacetime. But where is this cosmic tide leading? And what happens when the expansion ends or never ends at all? To understand the universe's destiny, we must listen to its pulse, the rhythm of its expansion. Since the Big Bang, space itself has been swelling outward, carrying galaxies along like lanterns floating on an invisible sea. For billions of years, that expansion slowed under the pull of gravity, as matter tried to draw everything back together. But then, something extraordinary happened. In the late 1990s, astronomers studying distant supernovae made a shocking discovery. The universe's expansion is not slowing down. It's speeding up. Some unseen force, is pushing galaxies apart faster and faster. They named this mysterious energy simply dark energy. We don't know what it is. We only know what it does. It acts like a pressure woven into the fabric of space itself, driving the cosmos to accelerate. The result is a universe growing not gently, but restlessly. Its edges racing away faster than light, its horizon forever receding. And this raises a hauntingly beautiful question. If the universe has a beginning, does it also have an end? There are several possibilities, each one as poetic as it is profound. One vision paints the future as an eternal unfolding, the big freeze. In this scenario, the expansion continues forever. Galaxies drift farther and farther apart until even their light can no longer bridge the distance. Stars exhaust their fuel one by one, fading into embers. The night sky grows dimmer over unimaginable eons. In the far future, even atoms might decay, leaving behind only whispers of radiation and the cold breath of infinity. The universe would not end in fire, but in silence. A sea of absolute stillness, expanding without limit into nothingness. But perhaps the cosmos will not fade quietly. Some theories predict a grand reversal, the Big Crunch. If the total gravity of all matter eventually overwhelms dark energy, expansion could halt and reverse. Galaxies would begin to drift closer again, the universe contracting like a great inhalation after a cosmic exhale. In this closing act, time would seem to fold inward, and all matter would converge once more into the singularity from which it came, a universe returning to its origin, ready perhaps to begin anew. And then there is the most enigmatic fate of all, the Big Rip. If dark energy grows stronger with time, its pressure could one day overcome every force in the cosmos. Galaxies, stars, planets, even atoms themselves, would be torn apart as space expands faster than any structure can hold together. The universe would end not in collapse, but in pure dispersal, the unraveling of reality itself. Yet not all cosmologists believe in such finality. Some propose that expansion is cyclic, that each Big Bang is followed by another, like an infinite breath. In that view, death is merely transition. When one universe cools and collapses, another blooms from its ashes. An eternal rhythm of creation and renewal. Whatever the outcome, these possibilities remind us that the universe is a story still being written. Its future depends on the balance between gravity and dark energy, matter and void, time and timelessness. The cosmos may freeze, collapse, or transform, but each vision shares a single truth. Nothing in existence stands still. Even now, as we speak, galaxies on the farthest edge of our view are slipping away forever, their light stretched beyond reach. They become unreachable not because they have vanished, but because space between us grows faster than their light can travel. In the vast silence that follows, we are left to ponder a mystery that no telescope can answer. The universe began as an explosion of energy, a song of creation still echoing through time. But every song, no matter how eternal it seems, must change its rhythm. Somewhere, billions of years from now, the universe will face its next transformation, its final note, its next beginning. And so, under this endless canopy of stars, we find ourselves asking not just how the universe ends, but what ending even means in a cosmos where endings and beginnings are one continuous circle. Perhaps there is no true end, only new forms of being, hidden just beyond the horizon of time. But if expansion truly never stops, if the universe keeps growing faster and faster, scattering its stars like seeds on an infinite wind, then one question remains, echoing softly through the ages. If the cosmos expands forever, what lies beyond forever? What if our universe, the vast expanse of galaxies, stars, and cosmic history, were only one drop in an endless ocean, a single verse in a boundless cosmic poem? For centuries, we believed our universe to be the entirety of existence. The Big Bang marked the beginning of everything, and its expansion carried all of space and time outward from that single moment. But as science deepened its reach, a new idea began to shimmer at the edge of thought. An idea both thrilling and unsettling. What if the Big Bang wasn't the beginning of everything, but just the beginning of our part of everything? What if there are other universes, countless others, each with its own laws, its own histories, its own skies? This is the multiverse theory, one of the most audacious concepts ever conceived by the human mind. It begins with inflation, the mysterious process that caused the universe to expand faster than light in the first fractions of a second after the Big Bang. Many cosmologists believe that inflation might not have ended everywhere at once. Instead, it may have continued eternally in distant regions, bubbling new universes into existence like foam on a cosmic sea. Each bubble becomes a separate universe, sealed off from the others by space expanding too quickly for light or anything to cross between them. In this endless process, universes are born constantly, each one unique. Some are bright and filled with galaxies. Others are cold, empty, or short-lived. Some might have different constants of nature, different physics altogether. In one, gravity might be stronger. In another, stars might never form. Somewhere, perhaps, consciousness itself takes on forms we could never imagine. And then there is the most haunting idea of all, the many-worlds interpretation of quantum physics. At the smallest scales of reality, particles do not follow one path, they follow every possible path. Every time a quantum event occurs, the universe may split, branching into countless versions of itself, each realizing a different outcome. In one universe, you are reading these words. In another, you never found them. In yet another, humanity never existed at all. If that sounds poetic, it is. The multiverse transforms existence into a vast, shimmering web of possibilities. Every decision, every moment, every fluctuation of energy becomes a thread in an infinite tapestry of reality. But how could we ever prove such a thing? The challenge lies in distance and isolation. If other universes exist, they may be forever beyond our cosmic horizon, separated by distances so vast that no signal could ever bridge the gap. Yet subtle hints might remain, tiny fingerprints on the fabric of our own universe. Some scientists have searched for irregularities in the cosmic microwave background, the ancient light left over from the Big Bang, that might reveal where our universe brushed against another. Ripples, distortions, or circular patterns could be scars of cosmic collisions between neighboring universes long ago. So far, no evidence is conclusive, but the search continues, driven by the same curiosity that led humanity to look beyond its first horizon of stars. Beyond the mathematics and theories, the multiverse carries a profound philosophical weight. If infinite universes exist, what does that make of ours? Are we special or simply inevitable? Perhaps the reason our universe seems so perfectly tuned for life is because, out of infinite possibilities, it's one of the few where life can exist. In that sense, we find ourselves in a universe that knows how to give rise to observers, simply because only in such a universe could anyone be here to ask the question. Yet there is beauty in this vastness. The idea that we might be one of countless realities does not diminish us. It expands us. It places our story within a grander cosmic epic, one that stretches beyond any single beginning or end. Imagine an infinite ocean of universes, each one glowing with its own laws of light, its own flow of time. Some collide like waves, creating bursts of new creation. Others drift in silence, unseen. And somewhere, within one such wave, our universe hums softly, a fragile sphere of consciousness floating in a sea of eternal possibility. The multiverse, whether real or imagined, invites us to look beyond the limits of what we can see. It reminds us that our horizon is not the boundary of all things, but the threshold of wonder itself. And so, as we drift within our cosmic bubble, we ask ourselves, if our universe is just one note in an infinite symphony, who or what composed the music? If the universe has an edge, if there truly is a final point where light, time, and space dissolve, what lies beyond it? Nothingness? Or something beyond imagination itself? This question transcends science. It belongs to philosophy, to wonder, to that quiet space between knowledge and mystery. For even if physics gives us equations, only imagination dares to peer into the places where equations end. We have spoken of expansion and horizons, of infinite space and parallel worlds. Yet behind all of it lies a deeper mystery. What is existence? If the universe is all there is, what is it expanding into? If space curves, what does it curve around? If time began, what came before it? Human language strains beneath these questions because our minds evolved within limits, boundaries, beginnings, and ends. We think in edges and borders because we live inside them. But the cosmos may not share our vocabulary. Philosophers from ancient Greece to modern cosmology have wrestled with this enigma. Aristotle once imagined the universe as a perfect, finite sphere surrounded by pure stillness. Kant argued that both an infinite universe and a finite one were equally impossible to truly comprehend. And yet, in all these reflections, one truth persists. The boundary of the universe is also the boundary of thought. When we try to picture nothing, what we imagine is not nothing at all. It is emptiness, space without stars. But true nothingness is stranger. It has no dimension, no color, no time. Cannot be described, for description already gives it shape. It is absence itself, the silence before existence, the pause before the first note of the cosmic song. Yet can there truly be nothing? Or does something always exist, waiting in potential, like a blank canvas that is not empty, but ready? Some physicists believe that even nothingness is not truly void. They speak of the quantum vacuum, a field of infinite potential where particles flicker in and out of being, where existence seems to dance on the edge of non-existence. In that sense, nothing may be the womb of everything, the place from which universes are born. Others see the boundary not as physical but as conceptual, a limit of perception. Perhaps the edge of the universe is not out there, billions of light years away, but within us, the threshold between what we can know and what we can only feel. Beyond that inner horizon lies the realm of mystery, faith, and intuition, the territory of poets and dreamers. Think of the universe not as a structure, but as a thought, a self-reflective consciousness that awakens within itself. In that view, every atom, every star, every human mind is the universe contemplating its own being. The edge, then, is not a wall but a mirror. When we look for the boundary of space, we may find ourselves staring back. In a strange way, this makes us part of the cosmos's search for meaning. We are not observers standing outside the universe. We are its expressions, its eyes and voice, its curiosity turned inward. To ask what lies beyond the edge is the universe asking the same question of itself. And what if there is something beyond? Something beyond time, beyond dimension, beyond definition. Perhaps another mode of existence, neither physical nor spiritual, but something utterly other. A realm where creation and consciousness merge. A space where beginnings and endings coexist as one eternal moment. In such a place, the question of what lies beyond would dissolve entirely, because there would be no outside left to name. Maybe that's the ultimate secret of the cosmos, that what we call the edge is not a border, but a bridge, a point where thought meets the infinite, and the infinite looks back through us. The edge, then, is not where the universe stops, but where understanding begins. And so we stand, on the shore of everything, gazing into that quiet expanse, feeling the pull of the unknown. We do not yet know what lies beyond, but perhaps that is not a failure of science. It is a triumph of wonder. Because if the universe truly has no end, then neither does our capacity to question it. And that leads us to one final thought, one that bridges the poetic and the eternal. If the edge of the universe is the threshold of the infinite, could it be that the infinite has been within us all along? And so, after all our searching, all our wondering, we arrive at the question that began this journey. Where does the universe end, or does it ever end at all? Look around. Every speck of starlight, every drifting galaxy, every whisper of cosmic radiation is part of a single, grand composition. A symphony written in the language of existence. Yet no matter how far we listen, the melody continues, fading into a distance we can never reach. Maybe that is the truth of it. The universe does not end. It simply continues beyond our capacity to comprehend. There is no edge, no wall, no final curtain. Only layers of understanding unfolding forever, like ripples on an endless sea. We began as dust, born in the hearts of ancient stars, scattered through the cosmos, and gathered again into thinking beings who can ask questions about their own origin. And that is the great paradox of existence. The universe gave rise to creatures capable of contemplating the universe itself. We are the cosmos observing its own reflection, wondering at its own vastness. When we gaze at the night sky, we are not standing outside of it, we are woven into it. Every atom in our bodies once shimmered as light in a distant star. Every heartbeat echoes the same rhythm that pulses through galaxies. The universe is not something we look at. It is something we are. Perhaps the real edge of the universe is not a physical frontier but a threshold of perception. Every time we build a new telescope, launch a new probe, or conceive a new theory, that edge moves outward. Our understanding grows, and with it, the universe itself, because in observing it, we give it meaning. The cosmos does not merely exist. It is experienced. And still, mystery remains. There are regions forever beyond our sight, worlds that will never share their light with us, stories that will never reach our ears. But mystery is not absence. It is invitation. The unknown does not diminish reality. It deepens it. Infinity, it seems, is not just a measure of size but a state of being. The universe may expand forever, but within that boundless motion lies stillness, the quiet awareness that connects everything. Time and space, matter and energy, thought and observation. All are threads in the same cosmic fabric, each vibration resonating through the rest. Somewhere, in a distant future beyond imagination, when stars have burned their last light and galaxies have drifted into the great dark, the essence of that connection will remain. The laws, the patterns, the harmony, the memory of existence itself will linger like a faint music in the void. Perhaps the universe is not a place, but a song, a melody without end, played in the key of being. And every question we ask, every act of wonder, every heartbeat tuned to awe, becomes another note in that eternal composition. So, does the universe end? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe ending is simply another word for transforming. In every sunset, the light does not die. It becomes tomorrow. In every silence, sound does not vanish. It becomes potential. In every moment of unknowing, truth does not fade. It waits, just beyond the horizon of understanding. We may never find the edge of the universe, but perhaps we were never meant to. For the true edge is not out there, at the limits of light and time. It is here, within the reach of thought, within the endless desire to know, to feel, to wonder. The cosmos stretches outward, yes, but it also stretches inward into the infinite depths of consciousness. And somewhere, where those two infinities meet, the universe without and the universe within, we find a still point, a quiet spark that says, "You are part of this." So we end, as we began, with a question, shimmering softly against the dark. If the universe has no edge, and infinity has no end, then where, truly, does the journey of discovery begin?